Okay, so I'm here with Trent from Practice Ignition. We're here at Xerocon. So Practice Ignition, one of our founder app partners for App Advisory Plus.
Yeah.
I just want to have a real discussion with you around what problems Practice Ignition is solving for accountants and bookkeepers.
Cool.
Then kind of like what the onboarding process looks like and what support you get. You give for your customers after.
Totally. So Practice Ignition is designed to help bring a whole bunch of admin processes into one place. So we look at the way we sell, so your proposals, we look at the admin tied to engagement letters and how long that takes, and then embedding all of that into your payments as well. So in one hit, you get your client to view the proposal, sign the engagement letter, and give you all the billing information in one swoop. We then visualize all of that data, so you can actually see what your revenue looks like next to your payments cash flow. So we're one of the only apps to bring all of this together in one place that then helps trigger and flow into your practice management. So proposal gets one, trigger that into tools like Carbon, Xero Practice Manager, Zapier, so then you get access to tools like Center and all those sort of bits and pieces. In terms of onboarding, we work on a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every new team member that is working with new customers, we have 2 people working with existing customers. So we need customer success managers and account managers that will work with every new firm for that first 90-day period, but then also an account manager that's dedicated for everything past that. If we can't work with you and get you up and running in that first 90 days, that's not good for us, that's not good for you. So there's a real big focus on making sure that when you do sign up for Practice Ignition, you're putting it into action within that ASAP on your timelines, on your schedules, and we want to work with you to do that. In terms of
one of the key sort of pain points around moving on to something like this, it's like getting all of your services set up, getting all of your terms and conditions set up. What support do you give around that? How do we get all the services in from Excel or
wherever it may be, other systems as well. So we actually now do migrations, so we can help move people off other proposal tools or whatever it may be. So we can export data out, engagement letter data out, and bring that into Practice Ignition. But we also have 42 best practice service and pricing templates. So with over 500 odd firms in the UK specifically using the platform, we've said, okay, what were they all charging on average for services, aggregated it, averaged out the numbers and said, okay, well, for bookkeeping at 100 transactions a month, or for corporation tax at $1 million a year, these are the fees that everyone was charging on average, and you've got that data to then pick and choose and play with.
Yeah, so it's not a massive headache. I've suddenly left on my own, I've got to move all of this data on, I haven't got time for it, because you're making it really easy for me.
Yeah, if you were starting a brand new firm tomorrow, you could start with all of our templates, engagement letter templates, pricing templates, and we build a marketing brochure for you. So we will design a marketing brochure to sit in your system as part of your subscription, and you'd be up and running straight away.
Amazing.
So
once that's all happened, you're on Practice Ignition, I'm having trouble, I want to change something, what support do you offer? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have a local team now. Currently we're at 9 or 10 people, but we're putting on new staff every month in the UK specifically. So you'll have a customer success manager, you'll have an account manager. There is also a support team, so if you're up late at night, you can email that through. They work 24 hours. They don't work 24 hours a day, but we have rotating shifts all the way through. But yeah, you have so much support at every stage of your journey with us. It just depends on where you need to go to, whether it's help desk, we've got support articles, or you can speak to people that are based in our London office.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so one of the key things people will be interested in is how the integration works. So once proposal's accepted, what happens next in terms of invoicing with Xero or other
tools,
systems?
QuickBooks and things. Yeah. So once the proposal is accepted, we automatically create a recurring schedule in Practice Ignition. So whether that's on Xero or QuickBooks, we'll automatically send that invoice to Xero or QuickBooks every single month.
Yeah.
If the scope of the work changes, we automatically update the invoice schedule. So you're not having to manually adjust an invoice as well as adjust the scope of the work. Everything is tied to the contract in Practice Ignition. So that invoice generates automatically, contacts are created automatically. If you're using a job system like Carbon or a Practice Manager, we deploy the jobs automatically and they are mapped against your services in Practice Ignition.
Perfect. So I've started with a new client, 6 months down the line, they've brought on a member of staff that need to update the proposal. all I have to do is just go in, add an employee, generates the updated invoice, and then moves the schedule on from there, takes the payment.
Yeah, it'll schedule automatically. So if I go in, adjust the proposal, add the new service, or adjust certain prices on services, that automatically triggers the invoice integration and collects the payment automatically, and then reconciles it all automatically.
So it's helping with scope creep.
100%. It eliminates it altogether. Whatever you're selling, but we're then also helping you collect the fees for what you're selling or what you're serving to your clients. So it's all tied together into that one spot.
Awesome. And so what is like the one key thing that you hear from your customers like that's changed the way that they do business because they've brought on Practice Ignition?
Yeah, so the biggest thing we get from firms is just that they're able to create their agreements and proposals really quickly. They're winning customers faster than before because of that, but now they don't have a problem getting paid because that's all been taken care of right at the beginning. Typically the problems firms have is that it takes us forever to get a proposal out, but then we spend the next 30, 60 days chasing and calling a client and say, hey, are you going to pay us because you said you would when you signed our Word document on the day that was specified? So it's like, well, you don't have a broken process anymore because you created a really slick process for everyone, therefore your debtors are quite low. You're not chasing clients because you made sure that they couldn't not pay you.
Brilliant.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
No
Cheers,
worries.
mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.